Hey guys, do you play Paladins or Smite? Well, if you do, that's awesome. If you guys go to nexus.gg/Tanek127, you can get all your in-game currency, any type of season passes, or any other passes that you need for either of these games today. That's nexus.gg/Tanek127, and it helps support me and the YouTube channel directly. Enjoy the video, guys. Hello gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tanek127 and welcome back to another video. And guys, if you like looter shooter games and good looter shooter games, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button and also give this video a like because you got good taste. Now, I'm going to show you guys a nice little looter shooter that's been out for a good amount of time now, that launched last year. And if you like games that aren't, claiming to be free to play and then chopped up into 1,000,000,001 DLC pieces, Destiny. If you like games that, don't release new classes and require you to grind 6,000 hours for them, Warframe, you may want to check out this one right here, Outriders. Now, guys, I'm just trolling. No disrespect to, Destiny or Warframe, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. Those are my two biggest pet peeves about those other two games. And a lot of people ask me, why I don't cover those games here on the channel and stuff like that. And it's really because of those issues. When it comes to games like Destiny, for example, this game's free to play, yet it's sliced up into 1,000 DLC paid pieces, and they even cut content from what? And if you don't buy the biggest edition of the next expansion, you'll be missing content in a game that's supposed to be free to play. Come on, like in my opinion, honestly, that just sounds deceiving. And Warframe, another great example. Don't get me wrong, Warframe is a solid looter shooter, but one thing to say about that game is the new frames, which are just technically a class. Every time a brand new one comes out, you either have to purchase it or grind yourself to death to build it, and then grind yourself to death to level it, and then grind yourself to death to get the right weapons and mods that you need for it. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know in these games you're supposed to grind. That's the whole point of looter shooters. But that's crazy. How about a game where you just pay one price and you get all that? You get all the base game content. You get all the end game content. You get more free added on end game content. And then you have a nice big fat expansion to look forward to sometime here in 2022. How's that sound? Well, if you like that, welcome to Outriders. Enjoy the gameplay in the background, just playing a little bit of Outriders right here in this video. I'm fighting a boss with my girl Aki Rain. And yeah, what I want to do is just talk to you guys about this game here in 2022 because it seems to be showing a lot of promise. Now, first and foremost, last year, the game had got a big update to it. Now, Outriders, I'm not going to say the game's perfect because it launched with issues. God help me, it launched with issues. Anybody who got Outriders on day one will tell you it launched with issues. So, trust me, I gave Destiny and Warframe a bunch of crap at the beginning of this video. And I'm sure there are some of y'all, who want to defend those two games who are looking at me like now, like, oh boy, I'm about to smack that keyboard and and just hit Outriders with the pow pow kisser kisser. Relax. I'm not gonna sit here and act like Outriders has always been perfect. No, there's a reason Outriders got its decent update just a few months back. So in the short, when Outriders first launched, there was the loot drops were crap. The matchmaking was just terrible. It is a cross-play game on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Unfortunately, it's not available for a Nintendo Switch. Yeah, it's a cross-play, looter shooter, story-driven, nice solid campaign. I'm still working my way through that, of course. And it's got, a good chunk of endgame content that the developers just recently actually expanded upon. And this was expanded upon with an update called New Horizons. It introduced a feature called Endgame 2.0, which expedition modes, which are the endgame dungeons, have no timer on by default. This means that you won't need to rush and sprint to the expedition. One big problem with Outriders Endgame used to be was they only encouraged one type of build, people who get through the endgame dungeons fastest. So therefore, the only builds that were viable were the ones that did the most damage in the quickest amount of time. Kind of silly. They finally added a transmog system, which is something, you know, that should be in a looter shooter from day one. Looter shooters are MMO-esque like games. They're basically, you know, just guns and shooting to get loot instead of, you know, like a traditional fantasy MMO kind of thing where you're using sword, shield, and magic and stuff like that to get loot. They're very MMO like. They improved the legendary farming, and they also added 4 new dungeons to the end game of the game: the Molten Depths, the Marshal's Complex, the City of Nomads, and the Wellsprings. And keep in mind, all 4 of these brand new dungeons, they all have the brand new gear modifiers added to them. So therefore, when you run these dungeons, you know, you have an increased chance of, you know, getting legendary and some of the best gear added to the game and stuff like that as well in these new dungeons. Now, the reason I wanted to bring Outriders up to you guys in 2022 is because I want you guys to think back to the last video I made where I talked about Outriders. What was it I said to you? Outriders looked like an awesome, you know, looter shooter. However, because of, you know, its retail style and the fact that, you know, the devs were advertising it as a complete game, it made me afraid that, you know, the game was never going to be expanded upon. And, you know, that makes me nervous. That's not a smart idea for, you know, a looter shooter style game or anything that's, you know, like an MMO-esque kind of thing, because that grind for always chasing, you know, that better gear, better cosmetic, that better loot, you know, whatever it is, that's the appeal to these games. Well, these developers have officially confirmed that that's not the case. Not only did we get the New Horizons update, but Outriders is also going to be getting a massive expansion in 2022 called the World Slayer. Now, they haven't released much about this, but I do know it's probably, if it's an expansion, I would assume it's going to do things like give more story content, probably raise the game's level cap, probably raise the gear level cap and stuff like that. And, you know, maybe add, and I'm sure it's going to, you know, add new endgame content and stuff like that. The only thing we don't know is if, you know, if Outriders ever has plans to add things like raids and stuff like that. They always just add, you know, their typical 3-man endgame dungeons for, you know, better loot and gear and stuff like that. But the only thing we know about the World Slayer is right now is that they have teased some type of female enemy who looks like some type of alien powerful woman of some sorts. Is they've teased her, and they're going to talk more about the expansion in spring of 2022. But guys, like I said, Outriders, you know, being one of those games that's, you know, that's actually a complete game, all of its features here, and being given, you know, just constant updates and different work on a lot of issues and stuff throughout the year. And not to mention, it's free on Xbox Game Pass, so if you have Xbox and you have Game Pass, you get to play it for free. Why would you not want to dive into it? I'm just saying, guys, if you're fed up with Destiny, Warframe, or whatever current looter shooter you're playing right now, and, you know, like the rest of us, you're still waiting for PlayStation's Project Magnum, you might want to check out Outriders. Just saying, Outriders may be worth a look here in 2022. I know I'm going to check it out and look forward to more news about the World Slayer expansion once the developers decide to talk about it. But anyway, guys, y'all enjoyed today's video, smash that like button. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.